we added some plants to the tank. The humidity's been really high, so I changed the water dish. That's the hot spot where the sand is. I raised the water dish up out of the way. They all ate last night. So that's a Santa Cruz and Oregon red spot, Puget Sound. That's the two males, I believe. They're basking. She just shed out. They're still getting used to it. That Santa Cruz fell off the log last night when I was feeding her. They're not used to being able to climb up. These guys are all sitting together. They like to bask. That's Oregon red spot and two California red sides, the female and the male. And that's the little Puget Sound. That's the male Puget Sound, so the female's on the other. So that's everybody. That's two red sides, one Puget Sound, one Oregon red spot, and that's the other Oregon red spot. The other Puget Sound and the Santa Cruz. The two flames and the melanistic are small, so they're in their own tank. They're over here. I gotta clean that water out, but one of the flames is shedding, so he didn't eat, but those guys ate pinkies last night. I've been giving them fish too, but everybody's doing really well. Seems to be working out. I added some vents to the top, 2-inch vents. I got 6 more coming. I'm going to add 6 more because the humidity stays up. It's 80% now, so the humidity is staying kind of high. I want to get it down a bit more, although they hasn't seemed to affected them at all. They seem okay with it, but it's fun to watch. They're always out, unless they're shedding, they hide, but most of the time they're out and active. Crawling around. I had a little bit of fighting last night when I fed them. To get the first pinky in is always the toughest because they're all after it. So the big blue, we call her, the female Puget Sound, ended up grabbing one of the red spots and he was hanging in the air. Her teeth got stuck in him. It's kind of hard to, especially the first pinky you bring in, they smell it and they all come running. I don't know if that's overexposed. I hope you can see them. But it worked out really well with the logs. Super fun. Definitely recommend doing this to anybody. This is a 120 fish tank. Look at the orange on him. He's awesome. That's the Puget Sound and the Oregon red spot, which is actually more orange than red. And the Santa Cruz is really pretty too. I lost a little tiny baby Santa Cruz. I don't know if I made a video about that, but he got a swelling where his belly button was, it seemed to me, and I just couldn't get him to, it got a little better and he was doing better, and then all of a sudden he just died During the day, I fed him a worm, and I came home at night, and he died. I was bummed out, but I did everything I could for the little guy and tried to get him better, but it didn't work out. He was super tiny. He was like newborn small, so they're a bit delicate. If they have a problem, it's hard to really do anything, I guess. If you have room for it, definitely get a nice 120 and do it up and throw some snakes in it, because it's really cool. So here in my TV room, I watch TV and I watch the snakes, and the cats watch the snakes, and this is working out okay. I have I built it in, and that controls the heat underneath the sand there. So I figured if they want to warm up and the lights are out, they can always go down in the sand. I may end up putting some leaves in there because I'm getting isopods, and they're going to fall down in there, and they're not going to be able to get out. That's 6 inches, that wall. But that was the only way I figured I could have a hot spot for them, was to block the soil off and make a hot spot in case they needed it. But they seem okay. The temps are about 72, 73 degrees in that little thermometer. So the hot spots are like 80. So that's about 80. This one's a little cooler. It's about 78 degrees. And they mostly hang out in the hot spots. Might be a little cool for them. The big red side just shed out real nice. She had a problem with her eye cap sticking, and this time they came right off. And the Santa Cruz just shed out real nice. And the humidity's high in there, so they all seem to be doing really well.